Hi, this is Sean Calgill, doing another episode of Club Fed True Stories. Today I'm outside. I'm in a park over in Palo Alto, California. So today's video is going to be about drug addicts tweaking and the crimes they commit and how they can get you thrown into prison. And since they're non-violent crimes, the ones I'm going to talk about, you end up going to a camp or a low, which is what happened to me. I got sentenced to 52 months at Florence, Colorado federal prison camp. I got out about a year ago. I'm still on federal probation for about 2 more years, and I'm trying to make videos to let people know, well, for one, if you've done the crime, been indicted, you're on pretrial and you're waiting sentence and you think you're going to prison and the feds got you, that you probably are going to prison. But if you're going to a camp or a low, you're not going to get beat up. You don't have to join a gang. You don't have to be anybody's bitch. You're going to be all right. We don't have politics. We don't have cars to join. Cars is like a race car, hence the word race. So in the state prisons and the mediums and the penitentiaries, for one, I'm glad I didn't go to one of those places. I would not have made it. I'm not that kind of criminal. I was the drug addict tweaker type of criminal. So my charge was wire fraud. And what I did was tax refunds for homeless people and tweaker friends. Quite a few. I owe the government $1.7 million now. The government wants all the refunds back. So I took 20% of their refund. They got 80, and I cheated on their tax returns, got them all earned income credits, and most guys got $4,000 or $5,000. So I'd get like $1,000 off each person I did. But now the government wants all of it back. I have to pay it. I have for some co-defendants too, but and that's a tweaker crime, which qualifies as a white-collar crime, but I wasn't a stockbroker. I wasn't a banker. I wasn't a real estate agent. I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't a lawyer. I didn't do those type of money laundering white-collar crimes, but what I did is still a white-collar crime. It's fraud. It's wire fraud. I didn't do identity theft, but I know a bunch about it because I hung out with tweakers and drug addicts. So I've got over 4 years clean sober right now. More if you count the meth and all that. I haven't done that since 2013. But I drank before I went to prison, and I came up dirty a couple times on pretrial. So, but I'm in recovery now, and I've got over 4 years under my belt. I've been out over a year. So I'm doing all right. I live in a clean and sober house in Mountain View, California. And but these crimes that I did, all due to tweaking on meth. Up for 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row. So this is a message to you tweakers out there. Hopefully I can word it where I can catch some tweakers to watch this video, because I know what tweakers do when they want to get high. They'll dig through people's mail. They'll do identity theft. They'll, find credit card numbers. There's tweakers that work in restaurants as waiters, like I did, and you'll steal the numbers off somebody's card. You'll write it down, you'll memorize it, you'll go home later and you'll tweak, and you'll order things off the internet. You'll try to get bank accounts open. I know tweakers that would go through the mailboxes. So what they would do is get rat paper, and that sticky rat paper, and get a fishing line, tie that to the rat paper with a weight, throw that into the mailbox. All the mail sticks to it, and they pull it up. And they keep doing that over and over and over again, and they get all this mail. Then they go through all the people's mail. They find out their social security number, their date of birth, their driver's license number, their address, and they order credit cards in that person's name. Then when the credit card comes, they go shopping. They even get PIN numbers to get cash out of the machines. There's all kinds of tweaker crimes out there, and these are done by, I want to say, non-violent criminals, not thugs. No tattoos on me, nothing like that. I was just a white guy, not from the suburbs, grew up in the city, in the bad neighborhoods, did all that, but I wasn't a thug. I wasn't robbing people with knives and guns and, strong arming them, but I'd rob people from their identity. So when I did the tax returns, I had everybody's permission to do that. So it actually wasn't identity theft, but I robbed the government. That's the victim. I stole from the government. So my message is out there: if you're doing these tweaker crimes, you need to stop. You're going to get caught. The feds will catch you. They're really cracking down now, especially with this pandemic going on. All these scams now to get, stimulus checks, unemployment extensions. I get so many texts a day from these scams. They're calling people up and saying your Apple phone's been compromised and all this, and they want your information, and there's just scam after scam after scam going on. And this is all behind drugs and tweaking. So the only good thing for going to prison from tweaking was, since I had been caught for little quarter grams here and there over the last 20 years of my life, I do 30 days in jail. It was on the record, and it qualified me to get into RDAP, which took a year off my sentence and gave me 6 months early release to a halfway house. So that's a year and a half I didn't have to do prison. So I'm going to do another video about how to get into RDAP. I was homeless when I was doing my crimes before I got indicted. I was actually living at like a homeless shelter place in Hayward, California, and some guys wanted some tax returns done. I told them I knew how to get them some money, and we went to the library and used their computer, and I got them their refund, and they took a cut out of it. They told two friends. Next thing you know, I'm making money, buying a laptop, bought a car, got a place to live, rented a house, got all this stuff. Within a year, I wasn't homeless anymore, and I was making money, and I went and got, all the legal business licenses and permits and everything, the tax return. I thought it was legal, but I knew I was still stealing from the government, and I was falsely reporting these tax returns. And at the time, I didn't care because I was homeless. So throw me in prison. I'm homeless. Give me 3 hots in a cot. Well, I had given up on life. Today, I want to live life. Today, I've turned it around. If you watch a lot of my videos, how I started AA meetings in prison and my journey in recovery, and so I'm just trying to tell you, there's different kinds of people to go to prison. So I'm not your average white-collar guy, but I did the white-collar crime, and I ended up in Club Fed, which wasn't a bad place. Kind of like living out of high school. And you can go in and out all day. We have no fences. Run anytime you want. Go run away. But they'll catch you. And they'll add 2 years to your sentence, and they'll lock you up in a place with a fence. I met guys in this camp that... There was this one guy, I'm going to call him Bobby. And he was homeless, too, before he got arrested. And he didn't want to take the RDAP program. He told me he'd rather stay in prison. He wasn't prepared to go outside. He said, I've been homeless most of my life. I got it good here. I don't want to get out early. He said the best job he'd ever had in his life was delivering pizzas for Papa John's and staying in somebody's spare room, which was a drug dealer. Let him stay in a spare room. And the reason he was in federal prison was because this drug dealer had him. He was living in Denver, Colorado, and the drug dealer had him take some trips to drop off some drugs, I think, in Idaho, and he was crossing state lines, and the guy said, if you do this, I'll give you an 8-ball when you come back, and he got caught doing it, and I guess he did it more than once, and so he had to do a few years in federal prison, and he didn't want to get out. There's other guys in there that don't want to take RDAP because, so they got a 2-year sentence, and if you got a 2-year sentence, you're only going to get 6 months off your time with RDAP. You got to have 3 years or more to get the year off. So I've had guys tell me, I'm not going to take the RDAP. You only get 6. I only got 2-year sentence. Or I only got a 3-year sentence. I only get the 9 months off because I don't have 3 years in a day. And I'll just save that for the next time. And I'd go, what do you mean the next time? He goes, the next time I come back to prison. If I get a 5 or 10 year sentence, then it's worth it. I'll take the year off. I'm not going to waste that now. That's how people think, because they know they're coming back. It's a revolving door. I've seen guys come back on violations and they're happy. They go, yeah, when I get done with this violation, I get off paper. I won't be on probation. It was because they got high and they came up with the dirty drug tests. You know, I test every week, and I come up clean, and you know, and I'm gonna keep it that way. And I go to my AA meetings, and I live in a recovery house, and you know, I work the 12 steps, and I got a sponsor, and I do all that stuff. And I don't ever want to go back to prison. I don't ever want to tweak again. Okay, I don't ever want to drunk drive again. I probably drove drunk at least 1,000 times. You know, who knows if I hit somebody the next time. I don't want to live like that anymore. But I'm 56 years old, and I finally come to that conclusion. So my message today is get some help. Go to an AA meeting. Go to an NA meeting. Turn yourself into a detox. Do a rehab program. Something. You need to get off those drugs. You need to quit tweaking, and you need to quit stealing those credit card numbers and going through people's mail and coming up with schemes and scams and living your life day to day and how you're going to get high. You're going to end up like me. You're going to get caught. You're going to get thrown in prison. You're going to be homeless, and you're going to ruin your life. So I don't know if this video is any good. I don't know. It's just a subject I wanted to touch on. So if you have to go to federal prison, though, and you're going to a camp or a low, you're going to make it. You're going to get through it. You're still going to have a life when you get out, even if you're 60 years old when you go in. Anybody goes to camp is doing less than 10 years. You'll get out unless you die, because that could happen. You know, you could be 62 years old sitting there scraping your meth pipe right now, waiting for some credit card wire transfer fraud thing that you did, and you're going to get caught and you're going to get prison. They're going to give you 10 years, and when you're 68 years old, 2 days before your birthday, they're going to find you dead in your bed because you didn't wake up. And you know what? Don't do that with your life. Get some help. Help's out there. Help's out there. Thank you.